All right, what's good, y'all? Back for another episode. This is episode 10 of Dot Connect Wednesdays. Today's topic, we're going to talk about fake IG pages, social media pages, and crypto scams, and also how access to money can be your downfall. All right, so what kind of prompted today's message for Dot Connect is we already told y'all about cyber warfare. We already told y'all about social engineering, right? So nobody's exempt, and we've said this a multitude of times, right? Steve nor I, we are always susceptible to a bad actor, right? So today, it was just brought to my attention that there was an incident that happened with Steve, and I'm like, wait, hold on, let me piggyback off that. Yesterday, my inbox was going crazy, and I was trying to figure out why, but I was so engulfed in other tasks, I didn't see it. So long story short, someone hacked, someone created a fake IG profile and emulated my page, right? Took all of my posts, all of the crypto posts, even my personal stuff with my family, all that good stuff. They take the page, and what they're doing is they're going to my following list and they're literally DMing each individual and trying to scam them. Ultimately, what they're trying to do is they're doing Bitcoin trading. So I did some digging. They blocked me, so I can't even do more research on the page itself. But I was able to use another device to see the page, and these guys are from Nigeria, right? I'm on the East Coast of the United States, so this just goes to show you that technology, the power of the technology, and bad actors, right? When you merge those and you have that marriage, anything is possible. So it's crazy. We tell you guys all the time about safety, protecting your crypto assets, but when it comes to your personal pages and the things that you're putting out, those things also have to be protected. The same way you put passcodes, passphrases on your cold storage devices or on your exchanges, you have to monitor the same things with your social media accounts, because these guys, they do not stop. Nothing's off limits to them, right? Steve, did you want to go into your situation?
I'll do it after. Just go ahead and give them the breakdown of what to look for to protect themselves on IG, and then I'll tell the story of today, and then just segue into what the second part is.
Got you. So just to keep it short and sweet, there's a couple things that you guys must always look into. And I don't care what it's for, whether it be a social media platform, crypto exchanges, any of this stuff. First things first, you always have to update your passwords. Always. We tend to just do things out of convenience, especially with these smartphones nowadays. Everything is retina scan, biometric scans. If you could double tap the side and just log into your account in 5 seconds, you're with it, right? That's not always the safest way, because what you're doing is you're allowing your passwords to be uploaded to the cloud, especially iPhone users. They go to the cloud, right? Once they're in the cloud, if somebody hacks your device, they hack everything, right? Because once they're in the cloud, they now can get into any one of your devices. So if you're using the same passwords and the same passphrases if you're using the same passwords and passphrases for different exchanges, you're now allowing them an access point. There's a weakness, there's a chink in the armor, right? And these guys can get into each one of your accounts, and then they can cause damage, right? Even a couple guys in our university, they were doing the same thing, not fully protecting their passcodes or updating them. And one of the guys clicked on a link. This is what we call social engineering, right? These guys laid out a link for them. You might get a random text for somebody you don't know or whatever the case is. And once you click that link, now you have malware or spyware on your devices. Once you have that, these guys can now see every keystroke. They can monitor your keystrokes. They can see what exchanges or what apps you're going into. Long story short, they now have your what do you call this? They have like your play to play, right? So everything that you guys are doing, they now can monitor this. So they know these are the type of things that you're doing. Now they have the upper hand, right? So we had guys lose thousands of dollars because of this, randomly clicking on things. So I cannot stress this to you guys enough. Do not click on these random links that you guys are receiving. And this goes to your text message. This goes on social media, especially on Twitter. We're big on sharing links on Twitter, right? If the link just doesn't look right, if your intuition goes off, right? Your antennas is up. Do not click these links, guys, because I'm telling you, you will regret it. People have lost nodes. We've had people lose thousands of dollars behind this, and it's not going to stop because this is the times that we're in, right? This is what's happening right now. These guys, it's all cyber warfare. Anybody who can be a victim, you will be a victim, right? So protect yourself by switching up your passcodes. Watch the links and things that you click. And if something just doesn't feel right, above all things, right? Not even to get super technical. If something just simply does not feel right to you, do not do it. I'm big on this. Even Steve has to remind me from time to time. He says, yo, champ, your intuition kicked in and told you shouldn't have did it. And I say, yeah. And he'd be like, see, you misstep every single time. You don't trust it. So I'll leave it at that. Steve, you can jump in and rock out. But guys, please protect yourself. Because this is getting nasty out here.
Hold on. So another thing too, guys, is QR codes. I would not scan those things. The ones at the front of retail shops, stores, be careful. Guys are putting stickers over the QR code because, you know, it's kind of double-sided or cling sticks. So on the inside of the store, yeah, it could look like the Gap QR code or whatever store you're going to go into. But on the outside, they're actually masking it with another QR code. So I get it. All these restaurants want you to scan the menu. I mean, to get the menu, you have to scan a QR code. Just be smart with it, right? I would just ask if they have a paper menu to bypass that. You guys are in the crypto game, right? So everybody that comes to these restaurants aren't as high level as we are. They don't have a whole lot to lose, right? And I'm not saying that they don't have a whole lot to lose. I'm just telling you that with this crypto situation comes a lot of security risks, right? This is why we tell you just put the stuff on a cold storage and you should be fine. So the issue with IG that I wanted Champ to touch on is certain things you have to look for, guys. Every influencer, every content creator, every teacher, mentorship guy who's doing anything on the internet is susceptible to these fake pages. We know that this isn't new. I'm getting messages all the time on Instagram like, hey, Steve, is this your page? And I'm like, come on. Guys, there's certain things you have to look out for. Number one, yes, the photos look the same. Number two, the name looks the same, but it might be off by a character, an underscore at the beginning, in the middle, wherever, right? So that might be a little harder to differentiate. But when you start to look at the photos, look at the dates, right? If you're already following me, you know what my page is. So don't ask me. I don't have a backup page. Champ doesn't have a backup page. Most people don't do backup pages unless they tell you official backup page. Mm-hmm. The problem that's happening right now, guys, is the times that we're in has a lot of people hot-headed. People come to me and they're like, listen, why don't you guys have more followers? For one, I've always said to the university, I said, listen, there's no money in telling the truth. When you sell a lifestyle on the internet, it's easier for those guys to make a lot of money and get their followers up, right? It doesn't matter what they're selling. They're selling a lifestyle. You're funding the lifestyle by buying their product. They're not a byproduct of their product.
800?
Is everybody on mute?
Mute up, guys.
My bad.
So these guys that you're following, and I'm not here to name anybody, you kind of know it, right? The minute somebody starts to sell you a lifestyle, you tend to want to attain the lifestyle. Forget what the product is. At that point, it's all hazy for you, right? Because your circumstances may not be that great. This guy's on a private jet. This guy's hopping in and out of foreign cars. This shit's corny to me, right? That's just my personal opinion. This shit is corny to me, all the way down to Grant Cardone, right? Because Grant, prior to getting on the internet, he wasn't really doing this. So he built that persona because he knew he was going to eventually open up his fund to guys like me and you who can now afford $100 or the $1,000 minimum, whatever it is, right? Because they used to be quarter 250,000 accredited investor. Now there's end arounds now. So everybody wants to be part of Cardone Capital with $100. Do what you please. But I'm just telling you that you're buying into a lifestyle. You understand? First. And I'm not saying that Grant's a bad actor. I'm just telling you that he knows how to appeal to a particular crowd. And it's really just our people at the end of the day, because when you think of 10X belt buckles with studs on it, that's not for an institutional guy
at all.
Right? Because you kind of know the difference between the two, you know? Grant feels like he's part of the culture. Cool, whatever. Everybody's part of the culture. We don't even own it. So with that said, there's certain things that you have to look out for on IG, guys. Look at the name. If you have to ask me, you probably know it's fucked up, right? So Champ's been compromised. I've been compromised. I just had to pin a story. It's not my job full time to shut these pages down. So please, then they have us blocked so we don't even see it, right? So we're not seeing what you're seeing. So if you can identify that, if you can just please report it and just go about your business. Now, the other thing is I will never ask you for any money, period. We present product. And if you in, but we deliver super value. And you know when our products are being delivered to you because they're delivered to you in a form of a what? A website. Mm-hmm. I will have to mute everybody because y'all bugging me. All right. So with that said, we will never invest your money for you. Ever. We don't have a fund. We're not set up to do that. That's not what we do. We present opportunity, which is usually given in a form of a talk, and then a website link that you're getting directly from us. Real people. Listen, guys, nobody knows real from fake nowadays, man. Nobody. It is unbelievable, the stuff and the amount of money that people are telling me that they're losing in their inbox. The crazy part about it is Champ and I don't even have a product that's worth the amount of money that these people are losing. So now I'm asking myself, shit, are we not charging enough right now? Because if you're willing to send tens of thousands of dollars to people that you don't know, who you think is me, then that means that we have a higher value than what we're actually putting on our items. But Champ and I have these talks all the time. And for us guys, we really want to price it right because it's more of a timing situation with crypto. So we want you to get the fundamental knowledge, right? And then we start to plus up because this is a long-term play. So every guy that came to the university wanted us to do NFTs, DeFi products, quick ways to make money. 1 billion APY. You guys are lucky you're here at this time because it was the wild, wild west just 6 months ago. Straight up. Once Luna crashed, it just like, all right, House of Cards went down. Bad actors are out the way, but now bad actors are inside of inboxes right now. So they hit me all the time. And you guys might've saw some of the posts too, where a few people hit me and they're like, hey, I'm having tough times. Can you send me $40 USTD, whatever fiat they want, stable coin. So I play around with these guys sometimes and I might reply to it and say, listen, you send me 40, I'll send you 80, right? Because this is the scam right now. So if somebody's telling you, you send me 1 Bitcoin, I'm going to send you 2 Bitcoins. Yo, sit the fuck down. It does not make sense. And I mean, this is really happening. This is in my inbox. People are asking me for stuff, right? So you have to start tapping into intuition. But now I'm starting to realize that it's all a fog for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. You understand? I'm not talking to you specifically, but if I'm talking to you, then I'm talking to you. And just take accountability for the shit now, right? Because it's not the guys in Nigeria. They're not the problem. You are your biggest problem at this point right now. Because if somebody tells you 10,000 for $500,000, now let's think about that right now. In the worst economic time we're facing, right? The highest inflation that in our lifetime that we've seen in our lifetime. There's no end to this madness that's about to happen. Housing market, consumer goods. There's an ultimate. It's beyond a D team right now, right? You can't go anywhere and get any sort of level of service. You understand? You can't go anywhere and get any level of service. So the internet is the playground for bad actors who are using the likeness of people who are actually doing good work to then, and listen, I'm 3,500 followers, close to 3,600 champions in the 7,000s, close to 8,000. There's guys with millions of followers. So I can only imagine when you play the laws of average on those pages. So I'm like, hold on, we must be doing something good for guys to be able to extract that much money from people who are part of our university. I'm over it at this point. There's nothing I can do to help you guys when that sort of stuff happens. You have to come back to the community and ask questions. You know where my page is at, you know where Champ's page is at, and you know where the university's page at. We only got 1,000 people in the university. Nobody's mimicking that. At the least, come back to the university and say, hey, guys, are you over here? Are you over here? I won't give you my personal cell phone if I don't personally give it to you and we already have conversation. I will not conduct any business over WhatsApp. That's not my style. That's not what I do. And again, I will never ask you for any sort of money to invest for you. My investments are my investments. I give the play out for you to invest. Okay. Anything else on that topic, Champ? So we can move on to part 2.
Nah, just you just nail on the head. One matter of fact, one thing is make sure that when you guys are looking at these pages, you're looking at the dates. So Steve just brought this to my awareness even earlier today. The page that was taking the content, first post was August 30th. Then everything else after that was 4 days ago. Literally months and months and months of content that we've been shooting was all uploaded 4 days ago. So like, y'all have to start paying attention. And people still hitting me. I'm talking about people I communicate with on the daily, still messaging me. Yo, is this your backup page? You got a backup page? Come on, like, really, you guys got to pay attention. And these are people that's absent-minded, but it lets you know the mentality of the majority of the people. People are not paying attention. This is why they keep becoming food to somebody who's sharp-minded. They know what's going on and they know how to manipulate people. Y'all got to pay attention.
And you know the language that we speak, guys. These guys are all overseas foreigner guys. So hello, sir. No. Now, if they start using scram, you might get caught. You know what I'm saying? They start using dumb. At that point, it's like, damn, they really doing their homework. But they don't know how I speak in my inbox. Right. So scram, be careful, guys. I don't know if they're on, they might be watching our replays and shit like that. But anyway, the dead giveaway is really the dates, period. I have years and years of content all the way to whenever Instagram started when I first got on. So for what a bad actor does is they just copy everything within a matter of a couple of days. That is the first dead giveaway. Most of them don't do live videos either. Right. So that's another thing to look out for. You won't see a live really shot. You don't see too many stories, but Champ told me his page did have a story on it. So they're getting a little bit better with it. But the date, and I'm not saying that they can't manipulate the date, but again, we are not in the business of investing any money for you guys. We put out product and a service. You accept it or you don't. You're in the community. You get access to information all day, and we're just here to help you grow. That's it. This is done. The last time we're going to speak about this shit. This is the one that's weighing on me heavy. I've been a serial entrepreneur. I haven't worked for a company in over 27, going on 28 years, right? I started as a young kid. I had a newspaper route. I bought out 2 of my friends who had newspaper routes, paid them to sit home, and hired people to run newspaper routes. This is at a young age. This is like 12 years old, right? So I've been hustling since birth. Understand? So as I'm looking at the state of where we're at, the way that people perceive how business is done in America, right? I come from an era where you can't cheat the hustle. That will never end. I don't care how much technology, how much artificial intelligence you put, you cannot cheat the hustle. So here's what's happening. We are meeting a lot of you guys through similar platforms, right? Business credit, how to fix your credit. How to fix your credit is like the entry point to Black Americans into all things financial freedom. Understand this, right? So without the personal credit, you cannot get into business credit, and then the rest, it flows through there. So you guys are entering these mentorships, and again, nothing against these mentorships and helping you attain what you're looking for. The problem with it is there's cheat codes. So when Equifax and the credit bureaus had major hacks in the last several years, right? So once that happened, people found loopholes in the law, right? There's always been loopholes in the law, but now it's in the Black community, right? We created a hustle behind this. Let's help fix your credit. The problem with fixing your credit through these ways is it still doesn't make you responsible. Understand that. The hustle is watching you. You have to earn this shit. So on one of the last calls that we got on, and anybody on here that's from that group, the first thing I said to him was, I said, 90% of y'all are going to fuck up all this money that you have. I didn't know any of them, but I can know that stat. Champ and I rocked this group for about 4 days. We did a 5-hour session with the group. So it was intense. Every day people were coming to our inboxes. So I can only speak for myself. People were coming to my inbox, say like, hey, Steve, listen, I got $100,000 in business credit. I need to know how to make money right now because the payments are due. You know what I told everybody? Take that money and give it back to them. If you didn't spend anything, give it back to them. You're not ready. You understand? So I'm gonna give you a personal, intimate story about a business that I started. So with all my ventures that I've had over the last couple of decades, it's always started with one common thread. It's constant hustle. It was always limited capital, and Steve was a one-man show. I didn't have money to pay people. And even if I did have money to pay people, I've always been a guy that's just wore multi hats within my products. It's hard for me to give something to someone if I don't have a good grasp on it, right? Because I don't feel like anybody can market better than I can. That's just how I feel. Because I've hired marketing companies before, and I kind of look at the situation, and I'm like, no, right? So I'm starting these businesses bootstrap. So what happens when you start a business bootstrapping, this is why I'm able to gain so much knowledge. This is why I could build websites. This is why I understand email marketing. This is why I understand social media marketing, pay-per-click, Google ads. Like I could take it way back on y'all. So I'm not new to this particular game right here. I understand consumer behavior. So today my wife, she made a good comment because we were talking about this all day for the last 2 days. And she was like, the one thing about you is you like people. Right. So even when I worked retail, I was always the best salesman because I truly like to connect with people. Like, no, that's not it. I worked at Ralph Lauren, one of the top salesmen. Oh, that's it right there. And then just my aura and spirit allows me to connect with people. Right. So again, bad actors versus good actors. Is this person doing it for their own benefit? Right. Or are they doing it for the benefit of others? And I'm not saying to do things for free and not make money. You have to get your money out here. But the problem with people who are looking to get their life together is it's hard for them to differentiate what's good versus what's bad because y'all only want to hear what's good, right? So when Champ and I speak the truth, it's like, no, I can't sign up for that. I'm not going to make any money. I want passive income. So they come to me like, Steve, how much can I make on the futures? And I'm like, it really depends. How much time do you want to put in? Oh, I don't have any time. I just need to set it on autopilot. I'm like, well, that's not the play. That is not the play. The future plays are really for you to play it, understand the market. If you take 10%, if you take between 10 and 15% on my calls and you do target 1 and 2, you will win 90% of those trades. But people aren't disciplined enough to do that. That's too boring. They want 100, they want 200-300%. But someone without time and market starts to think, oh, I could do a 2 for 1. Yo, that street mentality, that shit is dead. You're not going to turn 100,000 to 200, 200 to 400, 400 to 800. Like you get where I'm going with this. It just doesn't work like that. There's something called a give back period. You cannot get around that. So I want to say at least 15 people have been in my inbox in the last couple of weeks, all saying the same thing. What do I need to do? I need to get into some real estate. I'm like, do you understand the market and what's happening right now? What market do you want to get into? I don't know. Just tell me where to go. I'll give you the money to invest. And I'm like, holy shit, they asking for trouble.
Green-eyed.
You know what I'm saying? You are asking for trouble when you start to say things like that. And you are lucky that I am a nice person. Champ and I have done lives with certain people who just have issues like, logging in or making purchases and things like that. So we will walk you through it. And then we have to get to a point where we're like, wait, we're just going to pause your video, put your credit card number in, right? So too much access on the internet for people who you feel like you trust. And if we're doing this, it's for your protection. So you can learn like, damn, what happens if she does this to, or he or she does this to the wrong person, right? So if you ever need the assistance, guys, don't be putting your credit card over the Zooms. And I mean, just things that I would think is common sense. But again, when people feel comfortable with you, I can see how they can open up doors. So I had this one business that I didn't really have to bootstrap because I ended up getting a silent investor who dropped a good amount of money. It was my worst investment ever, right? When I took that money, because now what happens is it's the first time that I'm handling that amount of money. So now I have everything I need to make the business successful. And it was my biggest downfall. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm used to bootstrapping. I'm used to really analyzing things. So now you start to shoot from the hip because I just got money. right? And this is what's happening right now. So when you start to get your personal credit in order, simple. I got guys that can do that, clean slate, add some trade lines, get the numbers up, right? And then now go get some personal credit and then shoot over to the business side. And you could probably easily secure $250 million, $250,000. The problem with that is you have never touched that much money in your life before, right? And you know the interest, you know the payments, you know when they're due, and now you're itching to shoot from the hip, right? Amazon, trucking, Airbnb, crypto.
Turo.
What else? Turo. What else are we doing now these days?
Amazon, FBA.
Yeah, Amazon. Yep. So there's all these products that are dropped on us right now. That's the community chess, I call it, right? Everybody's selling you the same thing. The problem with these industries is we all know that they're brand new. So if Turo just dropped, what makes this guy the Turo expert in less than 3 months of being in Turo business? Can you even validate if this guy is even running a Turo business, right? You can't run a full-time situation and think, so you got to think. So when I'm making money in real estate, I was never teaching real estate. I didn't have the time to. I didn't have the time to. I did a few learn and earn, but throughout that whole journey there, I had the information. Now I'm able to sit in it and give my students my time correctly. You understand? I'm not going to sit here and compete with people and try to create a side business when I know my real money's coming from. So you got to think about it. If these guys are making so much money on Turo, why would it be their business to even want to teach people what to do? Where do you even have the time? You got 100 cars. Where do you have the time? Okay, so you systemized it, right? They're going to tell you all sorts of stuff. So I'm saying this to say, people are getting access to this money that don't deserve the money. You will get exactly what you're going to get. You will lose the money. You don't have the right mentorship. You understand? These guys haven't took losses, right? I don't know a Turo guy that took a loss. The trucking guys are starting to take losses now, but everything was fine and dandy when the trucks were on back order and everybody was paying 2 times the amount of the truck. And now all of a sudden, where are the trucks now? All over the place. Where are all the high-end cars that were on Turo back inside the dealerships? Where are all those watches, that went up 4X,
return
back down? So this is called a give back period. So when you don't have time in market and you don't understand market cycles because y'all motherfuckers don't have the time to really read anything, process things. You understand? You get the information before you get the goddamn money. Y'all doing it. Y'all hustling backwards. For those of you who come from the era that I come from. When somebody tells you hustling backwards, that means you're not doing the right thing. The horse before the carriage. Yo, this internet shit is getting out of hand, guys. Give the money back to these people. I'm telling you that shit right now. Because if you can get it once, you can get it twice. But you're not realizing this is exactly what's going to happen. I'm just going to forewarn y'all. This economy is in a tight crunch. Big institutional guys, stop buying single family homes. That's a sign. Why? Because I have time in the market. I know who to study. You don't know who to study. You studying a bad actor who doesn't study what's really happening out here. You understand? So when I start to look at it, I'm like, we're all sitting on a house of cards right now. So the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to lower everybody's credit amounts. So that credit that you built up, the credit score is going to drop. It's not going to be your fault. It's only going to be because that $50,000 limit, they're going to say, oh, we have to scale it back to 20,000. If any of you, if that's happening to anybody just yet, maybe not that extreme, but drop a 1 in the chat if you've had credit lines cut in the last couple months. And if you haven't, I'm telling you that it is already coming. So now your credit scores tanks. Credit scores aren't even going to matter when they hit the reset button on a new situation. Because when you go from a debt-based society, right, back to the gold standard, meaning you're going to be backed by assets all over the world, it's going to be about what the fuck you have. And this is why we feel that crypto is one of the most important asset classes to hold. They are doing so much to suppress the information that Champ and I are trying to put out here, right? They got y'all focused on 2 things, Bitcoin, Ethereum. If it was that easy, would they be giving you that information?
Not at all.
Drop a 1 in the chat if you agree on that. If it was that easy, would they be giving you that information? I wouldn't be able to make a business out of it. Go buy Bitcoin, go buy Ethereum. It doesn't make sense, guys. You guys are losing the intuition. And once you lose that, you're just going to be robotic, man. This shit's whack. You're not going to be able to think for yourself. Well, this guy told me he could bring me 100x, 10x. I mean, we have some of the worst, when we talk about power of words, 10x scaling. You don't know the process of what took these guys to this point to get to that level. It looks great, but I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of sacrifice. They don't put their personal business out there. Ask them how many times they've been divorced. Ask them what their relationship with their family and loved ones are. Listen, when you start going up this ladder, you start to lose things, right? Things that are meaningful. Okay, so you got the money now. Now what? What you gonna do with it? My biggest fear in this entire thing, and one of the reasons why I wanted to start the university was, as I look around at my neighbors and we don't look like these guys. We do not talk to these people. We just all come and go. So when you think you start to move up this food chain, it starts to really get lonely at the top. You understand? So be careful what you ask for. So now you got the money, you disconnected to people that you should be connected to, right? Because you don't have common interests now. Now you're rolling with a new crew. That new crew is involved in all sorts of crazy shit. I can tell you that for fact. We got 10 Hat Tuesdays coming in the metaverse, ran by Champ, right? Conspiracy theorist shit unleashed. So with all that said, I'm just telling you guys, if you have access to money right now, you don't know what to do with it, I'm urging you, just give the money back. Just tell them you no longer need the line of credit, or find a way to just defer the payments, right? Because really, if you have the money and you haven't used it, you shouldn't be charged any interest on it. But I'm noticing that a lot of these loans are charging you guys interest even before you use it. Do not give it to somebody that you feel that you trust. It's so much to go into business. I've spent a good 4.5 years in litigation. That same company I took that 100,000 from, I ended up getting sued by that silent investor. He ended up taking the company from me. This is federal court in New York. I learned a heavy lesson. So I paid, and I was right. So, but the thing about court is, it's not about who's right or wrong. It's just about who has the most money to really sling around. So it's a tap out game. But it took years. It was one of the most stressful times of my life, but it was necessary for me to go through it, because there were certain steps that I didn't take. We're talking about attorneys reviewing certain things, and I'm married to an attorney. This is how fast she couldn't even get to me. And she was in my own house. So I could empathize with people kind of losing stuff, but Champ and I have told you, we've been rug pull survivors, and I'm not a rug pull survivor like on some guy in Africa telling me to send him one to get two. No, that's not what I do. I've been involved in plays with high APYs. I've been involved in DeFi plays that I know weren't good. And even the DeFi plays that we share with you, what's the first thing we said? Only put what you can lose and pull out daily.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And cross your fingers. And you've seen it. House of cards, all of it comes down, right? But you have to look at the background of the DeFi play. How is somebody giving you 1,000% a year? That means that they have to be making 1,001% a year in order to give you 1,000%. Mm-hmm. So the biggest scam that's out there, guys, is once they turn that 10,000 to 200,000, they're going to show you a screen. They have some really nice systems in place. They're going to show you 200,000 inside of your portal, as if it's your money sitting in Bitcoin, and they're going to say, well, we need 20,000 to release it. Hold on. You got 250. Just take it off the top and then just send it to me. Oh, but we have to pay the fees and all sorts of other shit. Sound familiar? We put out the security book. All of it is in there, guys. But at the end of the day, I tell Champ, it really comes down to something simple. Does it feel right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And if it doesn't, walk away from it. I'm urging you guys, please. And I'm not talking to a lot of you. I just know there's a lot of people that are going to watch the replay. I'm urging you, if you have business lines of credit right now and you're going to be charged, I would urge you to give the money back to them, so you're not pressed to have to make a payment on something that you can't do nothing with, because you're going to be forced to rush into a business. And once you rush into the business, trust me, Champ and I have put out ebooks, and I know what these guys are giving you. They're not holding your hand during these processes. Their shit is not all the way right when you start to look at it. But only a guy who has time in the market can really look at something. I don't need to be a Turo expert to know that, no, that shit ain't going to work right. You understand? Because when travel season starts to slow down, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? All these people have a car. And then what did you do? You bought a car at the height of the car market. So if you don't have gap insurance, go fucking get gap insurance right now. The car is not worth what you paid for it. Car market's going to crash. Educational market's going to crash. Right? We all went to college. What's it worth? We on these fucking calls trying to make money. What's that degree worth? That was the first rug pull.
Straight up.
That's the original rug pull. So I'm unhinged, right? I've been quiet because I've been working on stuff, but now y'all going to get this work. Every single day, I'm going to drop some shit. Y'all going to get this work. Go to my page. Go look at my last TikTok situation. Go see what China is doing to this next generation of kids and even adults, because now I see parents and children shimmying. Keep shimmying, right? This shit's about to come to an end, man. This party's about to get real, guys.
Straight up.
I'm telling you, man, when Biden talked about that cold winter, he was trying to put it on the Trump administration. That motherfucker, that's on his administration. The cold winter is coming now. But what they have to do, guys, I'm going to tell you this right now in this exact order. They're going to bring down gas prices. They're going to do a whole bunch of shit to look good for the midterm elections. No sitting president wants to be involved in the administration calling it a recession, right? Every indicator tells us that we're in a recession right now, but they will not say it out their mouth until after that midterm elections. Mm-hmm. So they told you first quarter is when everything's going to bottom out because it's all behind the midterm elections. Because if they bottom it out now, it's a red wave. Mm-hmm. And I ain't going to say nothing, but we up if it's a red wave, straight up. But that's a topic for another day. So one last time, if you don't know what to do with the money, give the money back. Give it back. You see Pope Francis, they got a deadline to put all that money back in the Vatican by the end of the month. You guys have to start following the cycle and start seeing why people are doing what they're doing right now. And it's all because there's bad actors that are out there. That one goes a little bit deeper than just bad actors, but partly bad actors. So you're telling me all the churches in the world, Catholic churches in the world, have a deadline to put all the funds that they have needs to be accounted for right now. That's just moving to the blockchain, guys, period.
Hell yeah.
It's moving to the blockchain. Black Lives Matters. Look what happened with that situation. Everybody's sitting here donating. Who are these people? Started by white people. But now all of a sudden, this guy made 90 million. All these people got houses in Beverly Hills. How?
Yachts, private jets, all kind of shit. Yeah.
Guys, everybody's looking like a preacher right now. And I hate to bring it back to the churches and things like that, but I'm just telling you that we're in a time right now where people are selling you hope. You understand? When you see times of when you start to enter recessions, there's two things that celebrities are going to start to sell you: alcohol and gambling. And go look at everybody right now, Kevin Hart, Drake, you name it. They're either attached to alcoholic product because people are going to drink their pain away, or they're going to try to gamble to come up. All right, let me take this 200, try to turn it to I've done all that before, man. I came up hustling these games before casinos was a thing. So when I go to casinos now, it don't take me too long. You either going to crack me, I'm going to head crack you, and I'm out. I turn 500 to 1,000, gone, 10 minutes. It might take me an hour to get there in my playing days. Mm-hmm. But that's because to me, I know what the value of money is, and I'm prepared to lose it. So if I'm prepared to lose it, just guess what's going to happen when I make it. But are you prepared to lose that business funding that you got? Can you sustain that? I don't think so. Listen, Q&A. Some of you guys are inside of those groups. Be careful. Let me know what the talk is in the group and tell me if I'm spot on. Eli, if you can come on, because I know you're in one of the groups. Am I spot on or am I just kind of blowing smoke on this one?
Nah, you spot on with it, bro. Yeah, it definitely comes down to awareness. Like, you really got to hold yourself accountable for what, you choose to do, because at the end of the day, it's like, no one's holding a gun to your head telling you to do anything, right? So, I've seen something one time. It was like, it was a quote. It was like, never let a good tragedy go to waste. And it seems like, they're capitalizing on, the situations that we currently are in that, I'm going to say that they made. You know what I mean? They're setting the stage for, what they got coming up next. And, if we still falling for this, it just means, we need to do a better job educating ourselves, to protect ourselves, on top of trying to chase that bag. You know what I mean? You got to get that Dior bag, you know what I'm talking about?
Bags.
Dior, do your own research.
Y'all know about that Dior bag.
All right, yeah, that's me. All right, yeah.
Appreciate you, Eli. Guys, the next post that I did, so I did the TikTok post and then I did one with The Big Short. If anybody hasn't seen that movie, go watch that movie. You'll understand what's about to happen with the housing market. It's not going to be as bad as that, but it's getting very similar. So when I looked at the Bank of America situation the other day and I broke it down into a couple of videos, I could shoot videos all day because every time I shoot a video and I'm like, wow, I didn't think about that. So Bank of America wants to just put as much shit on their balance sheet that they can right now. Why would you lend at the worst possible time where the housing market is at its highest, right? And you would lend with zero down, meaning you have nothing, no skin in the game at all. And then you say, credit doesn't matter. Do I agree that your rental income or payments should reflect higher? Of course, all day, right? Rental payments should always be a part of your credit score, because the one thing about us is we will pay that rent no matter what. Lights might be off, but that rent will have to be paid. You understand? So when Bank of America is putting out these products and then they're redlining, so that's not legal. So when they start to say, oh, it's whatever, but they're making it look like a pet project, guys, because they're literally putting a red line around a particular neighborhood that's predominantly Black and Hispanic. And let's be honest, that's going to be a low income area, right? So it's like you're just going to make all these people homeowners for zero down. And you're going to give them what, $15,000, and you're calling that equity. But if the market is at its highest and I give you 15,000, but the house is priced 50 over, low income areas are going to be the first ones to hit. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because in times like this, where you think, where's the crime going to spike? Low income areas. Man. What's going to happen to businesses that are getting robbed all day? They're going to have to move. What's going to happen when people can't support the businesses? They're going to have to shut down. So riddle me this. So now you just want to give everybody a home? That's what you want to do? I was part of that last housing crisis. It didn't hit me till like 3-4 years later, but I felt it. And I was in retail at the time. So I knew what it was like for people to buy $300-$400 shirts. Nobody cared about anything. Credit was flowing. My mortgage guy told me, hey, Steve, you can buy $1 million house. No problem. All you needed was a pulse. So you're going right back to that again? This shit ain't a scam? They're not here to pump the books up, get a bunch of Black people into a false sense of home ownership. And y'all got to stop looking at home ownership as a white picket fence. That was something that was made up by banks, guys. Do the math. When you start looking at these 30-year mortgages and just every payment that you make, you're not going to get that money back depending on the neighborhood that you're in. The county that I live in right now is ranked number 1 during recessions when house values appraise. Ranked number 1, unbeknownst to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I made that right call on that. I looked at it and I'm just like, wow, I'm looking at the stats are jarring. During recessions, the best places to buy are Florida, Tampa, over there by the Gulf. When you start to look at the first, guys are going to get rid of their beach homes and summer homes first. That's the first thing you're going to do. You say, you know what? That no longer serves me. I'm just going to take that capital and I'm going to put it somewhere else because that's just a place. That's a playground for me. These people, when they own their homes, they're not like Airbnb. They're not putting on Airbnb. It is a private home that they only open when they're in town or their kids go to town or family members. It's not for the public. We're the only ones that make business off of shit. Give the fucking money back. Period. If you have to, because you're in my inbox and you don't know me from shit. And they're offering me, guys, they're offering me tens of thousands of dollars. They don't even know me. It's just off a cosign right now. So just because your mentor put somebody else on there, you have to know that you have to do your own research on the people that they're putting you there. This shit is still internet weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? Go to these people's personal profiles. Just kind of get a gist of who they are. If it don't feel right, it's not right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No one's ever left this group that says, yo, it didn't feel right. It's just not entertaining enough. It just doesn't generate enough daily income for you. This is why people leave. Oh, I'll be back. Yeah, I got the crypto. Where's it at? Oh, it's sitting on Coin. If it's on Coinbase, you ain't got the right crypto. That's number one. So I tell them, good luck. You didn't listen to nothing that we gave you. If you got something sitting on Coinbase, it is not the right crypto. I know that for a fact. Listen, buy H-bar. Please, just buy H-bar. I don't know when Coinbase was supposed to launch it last month, and it's still not on Coinbase yet?
Still not there. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's the warnings, guys. Actually, talk's done. Now we talk about crypto. If you have to ask around about where to invest the money, you are hustling backwards, meaning you did not earn that money. You manufactured your credit to get it. You manufactured the business credit to get it. Cool, you got it, but now you don't. What the fuck are you going to do with it? 99% of y'all going to fail. I said 90 the first time. I was trying to be nice in that call, but it's really 99%. And you have to take those losses to be able to get back up. But the only problem is when you get back up now and then Turo's down, this is down, that's down, that's down. What now? Where's your skill set? And if you don't got them assets when this new system comes in play, meaning if you don't have no hard assets, what are you going to be backed against right now? The US dollar that's going to turn to digital? You know how much value it's going to lose once they do that conversion? This is why they hired 80,000 IRS agents. It's not about the PPP loans, guys. It's not about that. It's about getting all the money, like the Vatican, into the bank. And then you know what they're going to do? Hundreds, 50s are no longer legal. No longer legal tenders. If you get caught with it, whatever they're going to give you, the time for it. So now you can't even trade the big money. And then they're slowly going to take the rest of it out of circulation. You guys are seeing cash coming out of circulation right now. What do you think that means? They're going to tell you, put the cash in the bank. When you put the cash in the bank, they're going to act like there's a conversion. But if you never paid taxes before and you drop $100 and something thousand inside of a bank, you're going to tell me, is that not what the IRS agent is there for? How are you going to funnel all this cash that y'all, yeah, I'm not saying you guys, but how are you going to funnel all this cash? Because Cash App used to be, what was it? Fintech companies over $20,000 before they had to report. Now it's $600.
$600.
They closed that up. You understand? They closed it up. Nobody's throwing money around. Everybody's Cash Apping each other for whatever they're partaking in. So those agents right there, and this is the exact same thing happened in India. So India is a cashless society. Just go follow that. It's the exact same thing that's going to happen here. They told everybody, yeah, you have to put the money in. They gave them 4 fucking hours to get this shit done, right? Everybody's at the bank trying to put the money in, put the money in. Now what happens? People start catching cases. Oh, anybody with over X amount of rupee case. They were saying 1% of the entire population of India was paying taxes one year. And I'm like, wait a minute, 1%. There's got to be more money flowing through that than 1% that has to pay taxes. So that was part of the movement in India. So now people started to put money in, but then you end up catching a case because you put too much money in the bank that wasn't validating. You can't validate where you got it from. So what did they start to do? They started to get a lot of the poor Indians, let them open bank accounts, and I'll give you, 20,000 rupee, give him 20,000, and then you just pay them a little bit of money, and then they then switch it back out to you. You see what I'm saying? But they got hip to it. So before you reset a system, you have to put all the money back into the system, and then the system's going to convert the money into digital. But because the dollar is already weak, when they crush the dollar, you're going to lose a large percentage of it. And I've said this before, if you got $1 million, it might look like 800,000 in the account like that. Nothing you can do. Mm-hmm. They did it during the Great Depression with the gold standard. Everybody went in with the gold bars. Where are all those gold bars sitting right now? At the Federal Reserve. Right? At the Federal Reserve, they told people you cannot have gold bars inside of your home. It is now illegal. So the same thing is going to happen now. Only the difference is it's not gold bars. It's paper money. Paper money is worthless. Now, if hundreds are out of circulation, who's going to transact with you on $100 bill? Can you create an ecosystem of people trading $100 bills with each other? Probably. But do you want to get caught with money in your pocket? I don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to decline when they reset the system. Now, here's the problem. How much assets are you guys holding right now? How much assets? How much land do you have? How much income producing properties do you have? 0. We haven't mastered that game yet. So they're telling everybody not to buy real estate. What are all the wealthy people doing right now? Ranches,
buying up land and real
land,
estate.
Right? Mineral rights, air rights. When they buy land, we don't play the game. We don't understand it. take my real estate course. So these guys are accumulating major assets. What else are they buying? Art. Go look at all the auctions the last few months, guys. Record-breaking auctions right now. Guys were buying art like it was going out of style, overpaying. So about 4x, 5x. They were parking their money in art. You understand? So give the money back. Connect Wednesdays, episode 10. Champ, you want to take them out? And then listen, we're going to talk some crypto shit real quick.
Yeah, let's get it. Just to piggyback everything that Steve was saying was absolutely spot on. But I want to add this fact, right? Just so everybody can understand that this is coming to the United States. This is not speculation. This is going to happen, right? So this may sound like a conspiracy, right? But the UK basically owns the US. So when something happens outside of these borders, it normally trickles to us. But because we hold the reserve status, right, it trickles to us. June 23rd of this year, it came out, and this was breaking news. The Bank of England is going to withdraw legal tender status of the paper $20 pound, right, for UK, in the 50 pound banknote. And this is after September 30th. What month are we in right now? September. So I'm telling you, in the matter of 20 days, it is no longer going to have legal tender status. You know what's going to happen? Everything is going digital after this, right? But in the meantime, they are going to crash the value. And if you look, the UK is definitely going to be in a recession. And here in the US, they have not called it. What's going to happen here? A recession. Connect.
Listen, I'm going to let this crypto talk live too, so everybody can get a piece of this action. Guys, if you're not holding the right assets, I'm telling you, they are suppressing the information right now. Champ couldn't even pull off on KuCoin the other day.
Oh,
and this is, you can't tell me we don't know what our passwords are, our trading passwords. Impossible for me not to know my trading password, the amount of times that I have to put that password in, the amount of times that I have to click a text message and then an email and then a authenticator. Right? So if you're in KuCoin right now, I'm telling you, they're having a liquidity issue. Only put what you're trading daily in there. You know what I'm saying? Take that, make your money, pull the profits, get it over the trading account, buy a little something. H-bar if I was you. And why do I keep saying H-bar? Go look at the H-bar board, guys. When you start to see the likes of the biggest companies in the world sitting on that board right now, it is the blockchain for enterprises. Understand me. It is the blockchain for enterprises.
Crazy.
Go back to our videos before. Mostly I was in this class. We was giving out H-bar. People looked at us like we crazy. Y'all not following the information correctly. They are talking at all these World Economic Forums. Y'all don't have the bandwidth to sit through the shit. And good thing I got Champ, because he's teaching me, yo, that lady right there, she's the owl. They talking with their eyes. I'm learning a whole bunch of shit that you may think is a conspiracy theorist, but this is why we're able to make the right calls. So when October of 2023 comes, I'm telling you guys, that's going to be the first wave. That's going to be the first lick. Whole ground. Whole ground. If you need a little something, partake in it. Rodney posted some guy from TikTok who was saying what to do with XRP. PwC has a crypto side. Like, these institutional guys want the access to your XRP. Why do they want the access to the XRP? And this thing is in litigation right now. Why are the biggest investment firms willing to take your XRP right now? Ask yourself that question. Now we back to information and intuition. Does that make sense to y'all? It's unregulated. Why do they want your XRP? Ask yourself that. They're not even going to have to do a buyback, guys. I can guarantee it. For everybody that got it for 33 cents on average, let's say 35 cents on average within the group, when it gets to $5, you will sell. When it gets to $1, you will sell. They know that people will not hold line when it comes down to it, so they won't have to give a 50K buyback. You understand? Most people are going to sell. When it gets to 100, 50, 500, you will sell. I have selling points at that point, but we may not be holding the same bag, right? You got to remember, I got a 7 cents entry. into XRP. It's a little bit different on this side.
Absolutely.
Not saying that 30 something, 35, 33 current date is not a great price. I'm just telling you that we not all built the same. And I know what my selling points are. So you guys have to start getting ready. So what the guy was saying in the video was they can start to give you 6 to 7% per year, which in turn, guys, if you do the math, right? If you got the right bag and he gets to $500, and let's say you got $1 million and you start to make that per, they're going to give out some nice stuff on that one. Okay. So now you're talking about, so when you look at the stock market, right, these guys have been making money on dividends all day. So they might accumulate a good mass of stock and make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, just being paid out in dividends to hold stocks. So we're in the best space because once the dividends, and they're not going to call it that, but once those returns start to come in for crypto, right? Because we know that the crypto prices, hey, there's no stock price that's going to be able to touch a crypto price. We know it because now give me a stock price that hits 70,000. You know what I'm saying? It's like it just, we know when, and this is with $1 trillion in the market right now, right? 3 at the most had Bitcoin at 70.
At 70, yeah.
We're talking about hundreds of trillions of dollars, every single market that you can imagine, markets that you guys don't even know. So now we're going to start to give you the markets to start to study. But this is the 1% stuff. So all those guys are going to get the super gem when it comes down to that. You understand? When you start to understand the who's holding the wealth in this country, guys, right? The pension managers. Do you know how big the pension funds are? For police officers, for fire? Like, how do you think these guys get paid this money long term to sit home and retire at whatever age they retire at? Who do you think is managing that money for them? And what product do you think they're going to be in? I'm telling you, I don't want 6% for my XRP, period. You're not locking it up. You have to look at the terms. So I have a meeting with 2 of the institutions that have it. So I'm going to go get the information. How many people thought about contacting those guys? I would urge you to do that. Rodney posted that thing inside it was an XRP chat. It was a guy from TikTok. Go look at the video, and if you want to grab it and just drop it in here, I urge you guys to contact these guys. Make up a number of what XRP you sitting on right now. They can't validate the shit, and ask them what they can do for you. Because when they start hitting that calculator in the background, they're going to know what the value of that situation is way more intimately than we can know. So start to call these institutional companies and start to see what they can offer you for your XRP. And then it's going to tell you how valuable it is. You understand? So the days of needing $250,000 to play with these guys is over. You got 10,000 XRP right now. You in the game. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Yeah. We can definitely help you. So the guy tells you, take a little bit, right? What do you say? Take a little bit and go buy a car. And that's silly shit.
Bozo talk.
I would only urge you guys to do that when it gets to a point where there's security, insurance, regulations, right? And I need to be able to know what my exit plan is. So if I don't want to do this anymore, am I locked into this? Because think about how much money, if they can give you 6% right now, how much money do you think they're making on this XRP? That's the new standard, guys. So I told you the wealth is going to be 2 categories. It's going to be the super wealthy and it's going to be the working poor. You got to figure out which side you want to be on right now. And I'm not saying that XRP is the end all be all, but the knowledge to crypto. So the phase 2 that we're about to embark on now is how to properly, position your business within crypto, how to start buying these domains. I told you guys the other day, Unstoppable Domain. Big shout out to the guys that sent me some of the ones that they bought. Tesla.com went for 14 million. Start to do your math. History repeats itself.
Straight up.
These companies are behind. Do we have Kiara, if you want to get on and she interned for a company. Can you explain that again to them? What these companies were willing to do for these .coms? Kiara, if you're able to talk. If not, you can just type it in the chat. But she says, listen, they lawyer up and they get that paperwork done and they're buying it from you.
Straight up. No questions asked.
Right. So understand now, guys, these companies that have been that make money off of you don't even own the domains we have now, right? You just basically got it on a lease. So now when you think about it, and don't buy any of that .eth shit. That's just my opinion. You can do your research on it. But when you start to think about the cryptos and everything, you actually have ownership in it. So start with your name, start with your kids' names, you know, just put them in a tuck. Guys, the information we're giving you, you're not seeing it now, but you if you stick with us long enough, you'll start to see the value later. 99% of y'all are all going to be saying, I wish I bought more, right? And then another 99% of y'all are going to say, I wish I would have done that. You're going to watch this train pass you. And in our lifetime, there's not going to be another disruption like this in our lifetime.
This is it. One shot, one kill. This is
the biggest one. It was the last industry to be disrupted in the world, the last world currency to ever collapse right now. So if we're talking about moving to the digital age, I don't know what's after digital age, but I'm just telling you, it's going to take a fucking while for something to supersede that. So when Champ and I are investigating projects, we're looking at quantum computing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, y'all still stuck on proof of work, proof of stake. Shit, he told y'all the shit don't work. This guy right here.
Right here.
He told y'all I be backwards sometimes. I'm dumb smart. I do some wacky shit. He told y'all it doesn't work. So when we're looking at quantum computing now, so there's projects now that are being cooked up, and you start to look at that H-bar consensus system, and you start to realize, and I'm not saying that you just look at the names that are behind it, guys. They would not be on boards if they didn't understand the power of the technology. Like we're not even privy to that sort of situation. Next month, Vegas, I'm trying to load up right now to get out there. If anybody wants to come, there's a Web3 convention. Mr. Wonderful's there. You have institutional investors. These guys are going to let the cat out the fucking bag in Vegas. I'm telling you, that particular show, they are going to let the cat out the bag. You understand? Them prices is the minimum is like $800 and something, which is a low ticket. And then you start to 3,500, then you go all the way up to 8,000. Everybody is going to be in the building. This is going to be the biggest Web3 situation. The biggest. So if you want to get an inside look to what's about to happen, come fuck with us in Vegas. And if you can't make it, guess who's going to bring the information back home?
Hello.
Which ticket we getting? We get the biggest ticket. Now, I don't need to stay at the Wynn. I got better spots. I personally don't like casinos in hotels I stay in. I don't want to smell cigarette. I just want a low key situation. When I walk in the lobby, it's front desk, it's elevator, it's to the room.
You play the old strip.
So we'll get on that. But MGM Signature was one of my favorites. The Delano, maybe it's some people say the Delano.
Yeah,
you know, that's a cool little flow.
Yeah. When is it? I forgot the dates. We got it posted, but if not, we'll put it in the inside the
third
Discord. I forgot the dates.
Yeah, we'll drop it in there. It's the first week of October. But again, you don't have to press yourself on getting out there. I'm just telling you, and I'll let you know when we book that we'll be out there. But either way, we're going to get the information. That's the run that we need to go on right now. Right? That's the personal in people's faces, understanding all the venture capital companies that are going to be there. They are going to talk the shit there. You understand?
It's the 10th to the 13th. I'm sorry, October 10th to the 13th.
There you go.
Because I was looking at it myself. It's during the week.
Gotcha.
Those are weekdays?
Yep.
All right, guys. You want some time off of work? Vegas is nice in October.
Yep, that's Monday through Thursday.
That I'm telling you guys, that's a show. I don't know if and they're not doing virtual either.
Nah,
there's a true reason for that. Yeah, there's a true reason for that. You had to be there to be there, right? Those are the good shows, guys. Those shows that cost that money when you start looking at the lineup. And then just look at the lineup. If you're not going to show up, just who's this guy? They give you his title, they give you his company. What do? See if there's value in it. I'm not making no money on these tickets at all. But if we can go there as a collective We can break bread at night. We can discuss what we found.
Mm-hmm.
It's a super value, but when we get back, it don't matter. We're bringing everything back with us, and we're gonna lay it out on the table.
The dopest thing about this is, anytime they have these big conventions and you're looking at these big institutional guys and they have these tables talking, doing what they do, they uncover and reveal some of the craziest partnerships and new implementations and innovations that's going on. And you getting it in real time. So before the rest of the world has an opportunity to even adapt, even instantly, there's guys that, before the show starts, of course, they getting this information, but the guys who are just getting this info fresh off the press, and these guys instantaneously, yo, I need you to position us to do this, buy this amount. And you got Kevin O'Leary there. But just look at this though. Look at this. These guys are big dogs. You got MasterCard, you got Amazon Web Services, you got Kraken, Morgan Creek Financial. So you got hedge fund guys and CEOs. And what's crazy is some of these guys was already in a partnership with Ripple. Let me chill, man. I'm about to go crazy.
Listen, Timothy Sykes, right? So now we're talking about real estate. Guys, these guys are in the building. They're going to talk about how Web3 is going to be implemented within the industries. These are the leaders.
Tokenization of real world assets. Hello.
Brock Pierce, big. So listen, so the information is not just it's not fluff. They do not talk fluff here. If you know, you know. And I can guarantee you when you go there, you're going to start to say, yo, Stephen Champ is right. Stephen Champ is right. But beyond that, we have to move past this fundamental one-on-one shit. We have to move past it, guys. This literally has to be the last month of it. We'll still cycle new guys in, but after a while, we're just going to pre-record it, and then we got to start to build on top of the blockchain. We have to start to build on top of the blockchain. The economies and the process to the way things are being done right now is so broken. I tell Champ every time we're doing something, I'm like, yo, the blockchain is so needed. It's so needed. There's no labor force anymore of smarts. You know what I'm saying? Everything's running inefficient. Artificial intelligence is here. Robots are serving you food. I mean, just start to pay attention to stuff right now. Are we not all registered people anymore? I ring up every store I go to, I'm ringing up my own shit. And then stores that I have to wait in line, I'm like, damn, I wish they had a self-service. Guys, this is just do your research on this. If it sounds like something that you Wolf is over here too. That's your guy, Wolf. Yeah.
Oh, they won't let me have nothing, I'm telling you.
They took everything from me. So here are the passes, guys. There's your pricing. So when you start to get 4 nights stay at the Wynn, and the Wynn is a really nice hotel, that's where the price starts to, kind of bump up a little bit. But, all that extra fluff stuff, open bar appetite, like I don't, this is a nice package for $875. We should have came on here with emerging companies, man.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, MasterCard. I heard MasterCard speak before at another show. Let me stop the video.